Welcome back. So I'm doing a mission. It's called The Blockade. And the goal of this mission, which of course is to complete it successfully, is also to maintain optimal range with my targets. If you look at my older videos, which is very painful, I'm not even going to lie. It is painful to watch some of those, and hilariously funny to watch some others. But one of my problems is not maintaining optimal range, so I'm not doing maximum damage. So my goal, while I have to do this rep grind anyway, well, I don't have to, but I'm going to do a rep grind, is to do submissions and focus on maintaining optimal range until I get it down. Then I'm going to move to the next thing and the next thing. That worked well with me with League of Legends, which I have not played in a while. I am very rusty with that, so I'm probably going to have to do it again. The reason why I stopped, just very briefly, since I brought it up, is because Season 4 was coming in, and the game changes were huge. So it didn't make sense to me to try to learn the mechanics of something that was getting ready to go out the door. I was coming in too late in the game. So, and the tunes that I wanted to play, like your junglers, were getting massively redone. So, yeah, I figured I'd get back in after the bugs were sorted out with Season 4. Yeah, so anyway, that was a practice method that worked very well. Like playing a new champ, I would practice on last hitting until I got it down. Then I would work on, I had gotten to the point where I was working on timing my ultimates, because it would happen that I would have situations where I would lose a fight um, with a competitor, and I had abilities I could have used and did not use them. So that was a learning experience that I wanted to bring into other games, and Eve is one of those. So I figured that if I go into missions and practice solely on improving one aspect until I get it down, then move to the next, then move to the next, instead of trying to do two or three things all at once, I'd have quicker success. Being able to dominate those things. Now, I had mentioned that I was starting to get into PvP, and if you follow my Facebook, you would have seen, I don't want to put their name out there in the video without asking, and I didn't ask, but on my Facebook it's there, where someone who PvPs often is going to be working with me and Amani, the one that took in the video The Promised Land. We went into low sec and made complete fools out of ourselves. um, we are going to be working this weekend with him on proper ship fitting and combat tactics. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm very grateful for that assistance. And there have been others of you that have mentioned wanting to assist as well. And I will be contacting you guys as I progress in this journey. So yeah, I'm excited about that, because Eve is a large universe, and it is very easy to get stuck in your own little part, particularly if you fit your ships and don't have a way to easily move them around, or don't have the extra is to get duplicates and such. I know quite a few veteran players who are in high sec, and I'm not going to say they feel stuck, but they are stuck because moving those ships is a pain in the butt, and it's a high risk. So, yeah, I want to. I don't want to be, just like I don't want to live and die in the same place in real life. I don't want to live and die where I was born. I don't want to do that. I want to see the world and travel and, get those new experiences. So I want to do that in Eve as well. It was a mistake that I made in WoW, where um, the game mechanics just weren't where I wanted them, and I was never happy with a tune. So I got in this loop of recreating, and never really getting anywhere. And then after a while, I just clocked out. I got to max level, and in one of those expansions, and I was like, okay, I'm out. Peace. I was still subscribed, but I really wasn't there due to the personal situations that I was going through, which is very similar to Eve. Going through uh, trying to recuperate from triple pneumonia. I was here, but I wasn't really progressing. My character was progressing skill wise, but information wise, I was just getting all the wrong information in all the wrong places, and it was very frustrating for a while. And I just sort of clocked out and just mined. But now that I'm better, I made the decision that I wanted to, with Rubicon, and I'm seeing these changes coming in, like with the skill tree and the masteries and whatnot. But I still think that the game is dated. And it's one of those things like the saying, be careful what you wish for, or you don't realize, well, I'm like seriously losing drones here. You don't realize, the difference until your eyes are opened to something different. I mentioned in a previous video that I started playing Star Trek Online, and you can't really compare the two games because they're space games, but they're very different. But combat-wise, I like the combat more so far. I mean, I'm still a noob in there. I'm like a level 10 or something like that, or 11, something like that. More so, like here, you look at my ship. I click a button. If I click a button, I will orbit my target. And you can see that on my HUD, my shields are barely taking damage, which is fine because that's what I'm supposed to do, is I'm supposed to mitigate that. But I can't see exactly where that damage is coming in at. They're shooting at me, but all I can do is just sort of fly around. There's nothing I can do that I know of, and if there is, please let me know, that I can do, like turning my ship a certain way to block damage coming in. Well, in Star Trek Online, there, like my ship is right here, there's like it's not like, there is a blue circle around your ship split in 4 sections, and like 2 sides, front and back. And you can see where damage is coming in because your shields will turn different colors based on the location of where the damage is coming in. So when you see it going yellow and red and disappear, you know that you don't have shields on that side. So you need to either, redo your shields if you have that skill, or you're going to have to turn your ship so that the damage comes in someplace else, while those other shields, the ones that are being damaged, recharge. That's the word I was thinking of, recharge. So the combat is more interactive. You gotta kind of stay. I can see at higher levels where you've got to stay on your toes. Otherwise, somebody could chew through, a fleet could chew through your ship, and you're just done. You're toast. So after playing that and coming into here doing the blockade, it was like Snoozeville. I mentioned that in a previous video. And I'm wondering what Star Citizen is going to be like. Now, let us be straight. The videos that are coming out look awesome. Okay? Drool worthy. But as I mentioned here once again on a Facebook post, I could see where some things would get annoying real quick. Like having to, in Eve, you insta go in your ship. You click a button, you're instant in there, and there's a little wait time to undock, but there's no wait time whatsoever to go in your ship. Imagine if Eve was like WoW, where there was a slight delay of you getting in your ship. That would get annoying real fast, just like it's annoying in WoW. Now, it annoyed me in WoW, but it didn't annoy me as much until I experienced Terra with an almost insta mount. You know, you hit a button, my tune jumps up on the mount. There's no delay or cooldown or anything like that, and I can go. So after playing Terra, that delay, which I feel is unnecessary in WoW, is annoying to me. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of those things. That ship can be beautiful in Star Citizen, but if it's got an annoying mechanic like that, and I can't turn it off, then that's sort of all gonna be for naught. So I'm cautiously optimistic about the game. The game has a lot of hype to live up to. And it could be that the game lives up to every little bit of it. It's very possible. But it's a lot. It's a lot of hype. But even on its worst day, it's got Eve faded at this point. I mean, it would have to epically fail for a person that's played both games not to feel the age in Eve. I feel it a lot. And I don't know how many videos back, I asked how many people are still playing Eve, and a large number said, I stopped playing. Or when my subscription expires, I probably won't renew. And that's sad, because Eve has so much potential. And they talk like it's going to be innovated. Like, remember that Incarna, uh, incident? Well, if all your other games have walk around in station and you can do this and that, and Eve doesn't, it's not actively competing. And in business, I don't want to say everybody knows, because everybody doesn't know, but your beginner clients are usually not your target audience, because you're still developing and progressing as you go. So the people, it sucks that this is true, but it is the way that it is. Like, the people that bought Apple way back in the day may not like Apple products today, because they're very different from what they were before, just as an example. Microsoft products, anything that's been around and has evolved over time, the odds of those originating customers liking that, because they liked what they liked when it was the way that it was. You see what I'm saying? So unless their likes changed in the same direction, they're going to want what they liked in the first place. They don't want it to change. And that's what's happening with Eve. The veteran players don't really want it to change. No, correction. I take that back. Up until, from my experience, up until recently, veteran players didn't want it to change. But now even veteran players are getting bored because they don't have anything to do. And I'm talking like long-time veterans that have told me, it's like, okay, nothing that I'm interested in doing. Keep that in mind. Keep that phrase in mind. Nothing that I'm interested in doing, skill-wise, there's nothing for me to put in my queue. Because there's nothing that interests me, because not enough skills were brought into the game. But the problem is if you add more skills to the queue, to the game, then it makes it even harder for your newer players to catch up. Well, your newer players could never catch up. I mean, that's the way that it is. But it just makes the gap even wider. And it's becoming more accepted that in comparison to other games that are, of a comparison, paying $15 a month plus microtransactions, that these free expansions are not really expansions, they're patches. All the other games have their patches have way more content, and they're free. And then they have an expansion on top of that, which is much larger than the patches. And then, that's something that you pay for. Then you have your free to play games that, even release even more content. So it's becoming very well known. The only people that are sort of holding on to that this is a really good, are people that don't play other games. So they don't have that other knowledge, which goes back to what I was saying. If you've never tasted the other side, then you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know. And time will tell. Maybe Valkyrie will be the thing uh, that rejuvenates Eve. I hope something does. So yeah, I'm gonna finish the blockade. Not even close to being done. This combat is going very, very slow. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. And thank you for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one.